The specific test I wanted to focus on today is the rank test. The rank test is the one that allows you to organize the images in the order of importance. Okay. What I realized after watching thousands of videos in here, through like opinion videos,
Mm-hmm.
where we ask people to record their screen, express their opinion, is most people don't really go through all of the images. They may scroll through them, right?
Oof.
But they usually just go from like top one, two, three. They check for the information they really care about. If it's
Interesting.
there, perfect. If it's not, they just skip the rest and look at the search results again, right?
Wow.
Is that your experience as well? Have you heard anything similar, Vova?
I mean, you've looked at the video, so you know indeed, but as a shopper myself, yeah, I guess sometimes I don't watch all the pictures or the videos.
Right?
So
So
if
what
the
usually happens?
if the
Yeah,
first ones are captivating, then I most likely go and continue. So you're right, yeah. As a shopper,
yeah.
I'm
If you're
saying.
convinced from the first ones, you buy. If you don't, you just skip.
Hmm.
So if we look at this example, I'll give you the like 75-ish% of human behavior on the listing from my experience. Again, very dependent on the niche. But for products like under 50-ish, under maybe even 100, that's what they do. Just look at the listing itself. If this makes sense, that's good. Everyone's tired of very long titles. Sometimes people complain about it. They look at the list, the main image. They try to find all the information in here, and they're like, okay, I wonder if it's, I don't know, if it has this specific ingredient. So they go through this other
Mm.
images. They check it, some other things. They skip it. Sometimes you just scroll through it this way. Not
Mm-hmm,
everybody's
mm-hmm,
clicking on
mm-hmm,
the images,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They're like, okay, it looks trustworthy. They just click here, then, boom, they end up at the bottom looking at the reviews and they look at the actual images in the reviews just to see
Mm-hmm.
what the product looks like in real life, what people
Mm-hmm.
say, right? They want the
Mm-hmm.
real stuff. So a
Mm.
lot of them even skip A plus, right? Because it's above. It's right
Yes.
here.
Oh, interesting.
So what I would say is in the order of importance, it's main image, title, obviously pricing and reviews, but we can't really impact it too much. And then it's the second, third, fourth image maybe. So the higher up you put the most important information, the better. And what helps us determine what people really care about is doing something like this. And you can't really do this with Amazon. You can upload a new stack, but you don't really have the background, right? You purely have quantitative feedback from Amazon, whereas it impacts your revenue. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know the why. You don't know the
Mm-hmm.
real reasoning behind why something gets more attention and gets more clicks. So I'll show you the step by step of how to set this up. First, in the pinning pulse on the left here, you're gonna select new test,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And you click rank test in here. So it does allow shoppers to rank them from the best to worst. This first page, this internal setup is purely for your future reference. So here I would just say, we're going to use this ASIN. You can use the product name or you can use the ASIN just so you remember what it is. So I would just say Mary Ruth, maybe this ASIN. That's it. Now I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
remember. Okay, next. That's where we upload all of the images for people to rank. And there are multiple ways you can do this. First one is you upload them manually. Okay, so just add the images,
Mm-hmm.
and you have them in here. What I often use if the image is already on Amazon, just to save time, I don't have to download them from Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I just go here, click, grab from ASIN.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So all I have to do is paste that ASIN, grab data from ASIN. Usually takes 5, 10, 15 seconds max. And I have all of the images in here. Okay. Now I
Mm-hmm.
have to select six. Six is the maximum. We're going to exclude the main image. So we're going to do all of the other ones. So now we have six. These other two don't fit in. Maybe we can do another test separately,
Mm.
but most likely these matter the most. So let's see what is the proper order for these secondary images. I'm gonna click import.
You
Okay.
say don't fit in, Andre, means like on the listing we don't see them, right? On Amazon. If that's what you
And
meant, right?
you're right. So you have to kind of click on the images to see the rest. And also the maximum we have here is the six.
All right. Okay.
Because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's why I have to select six.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's make sure the question makes sense. So people who are looking at this test will see this. You have to look at all the images. You'll be ranking them from what you think is the most important to least important. Please give specific reasons why.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I would add something like you have to look at all the images of the multivitamin.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I can't type today. Now, this part is where you can choose how detailed you want their feedback to be. Okay. So if
Mm-hmm.
you keep this on, people will have to explain the position of every single image. If you turn it off, you're going to save half of the credits. So it's only going to be 1 credit per response, but they will explain their whole logic for the entire set. So totally up to you how deep you want to go. I'll just keep it off for now for the sake of the experiment. And as you see, not only images, we can also rank tests, we can also rank galleries of images. So you can really use this for multiple different reasons, but the most common one is to rank secondary images. Okay. Now I'm going to click next. So we're going to proceed with the next stage. And now we're looking at the audiences, okay? And as some of you know, if you watched our previous videos on ProductPinion, you can use your own audience for free, okay? I'll show you that later. But for now, I'm going to show you how to use ProductPinion audience. And this is where you select how many people will give you feedback. By default, I think for 6 options for any test, it just goes to 300, but I think 100 would be more than enough. And if I do see it's not enough, it's not very convincing as I'm watching results, I can always add more as well once it's
Andre,
100%.
I wanted to
Yeah,
mention also for our viewers in the link in the description, hopefully we still have that option. It gives like double the credits, right?
for your first months. Yeah,
Yes. So
yeah,
like this is nice
that's
offer.
true. Very unique. Use Vova's link. You're going to get 100% extra of the credits for the first months of ProductPinion.
Right. So this way people, and I see people are using those who join through my link, by the way, thank you if you have ever joined or if you will join, I would also appreciate that. Also, this helps me keep the content free because these are not paid interviews. We're just kind of building relationships, friendships. We're kind of building together. So the affiliate helps me to continue building and I appreciate that. So yeah, so this is like double
Totally.
credits. Yeah. So here's
And
like
we
the audience.
appreciate you, Vova.
Thank you, sir. So yeah, like so here we have, as you mentioned, the amount of people, the audience, and this is like product opinion. What's the audience? These are buyers on Amazon or like a list you have, right? For those who are wondering, maybe.
Yeah, good question. So the way we build this audience is we tap into multiple different audience platforms. So the same that would be used for like election prediction results, scientific research papers, all those studies that you see. We tap into the exact same pools, and then we filter them to qualify to be in the product opinion pool by asking multiple, like hundreds of different questions. And we built out a proprietary system with some AI simplifications where we ask people questions on the same topic in different ways, mixed up in random order, so they can forget what they answered before to catch if they're inconsistent. And if some of
Mm,
them tend to answer differently for the same question, essentially, let's say if it's about their family, and at some point they answer that they have 2 kids, later on they answer they have 3 kids, or whatever, then we're like, okay, there's something inconsistency, we block them forever. That's how we
mhm,
make sure the quality is good.
mhm.
Plus, once you start using Product Opinion, if you haven't already, you'll see that you are able to report. So in case at some point you see a bad apple, you're like, oh, this is not really helpful. You can report that response. And after 3 reports like that, that person gets blocked forever. So that's kind of how we'll keep the quality high. And the audience is
Okay.
huge. It's almost unlimited. And the way it works is the more specific demographic traits are being used, the more we increase it. So if you join and you think you have a very, very specific niche audience that you need to ask, the more you use it, the more people will on board. So you always have new and new humans to participate.
Cool, man. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, to understand who the audience is.
Absolutely.
That helps us.
So
Mhm.
to cover this part of the setup, select here the number of people. So let's say it's 100 people. Then these are the basic standard demographics. So male, female, you have household income, you have age, you can select different brackets. Amazon Prime, non-Prime, I just keep these on usually.
Mhm.
Country, so this is where it gets interesting. So if you sell, let's say in Europe or in any specific country, and I have a lot of friends now that I live in London that only sell in the United Kingdom. All
Mhm.
you have to do is just select United Kingdom. That's the audience you want to ask because you serve this country specifically. And trust me, there are cultural differences and preferences people have in different regions. So it does help you get more targeted feedback. I wouldn't
Mhm.
ask United States for everything, which is the default. So if you don't select it, it is going to be United States.
Mhm.
Now, languages, same thing. If you, let's say, are German, selling in Germany, all you have to do is select here in the countries list, Germany, select the language to be German, unselect English, ask everything in German, and you'll get Germans responding to you in German,
Wow.
specific to German marketplace and what they would prefer on Amazon Germany, right? Yeah. So that's how the standard demographic audiences work. I'll keep it English for this specific example. Now there are advanced demographics, and This part can get very crazy because there's so many options. I usually just search for them. The other day, I just discovered we have people with ADHD even. So if I wanted to, I don't know, launch a supplement, for example, and I need people with that specific condition, then I can just find these people here. Maybe anxiety, maybe like multiple as well, right? That's how narrow it can go. So normally I would just recommend search for them. In this case, I think it's just a multivitamin, so I don't really need any specific demographics. I'm gonna wrap this down. Custom is when you need to create something very, very specific. So if you do sell to like a very, very niche audience, I can't even come up with examples, but something that wouldn't even be here in the advanced demographics, you can still request and kind of poll people to see if they qualify to be in your custom audience. So we can also do that for you. Now, this part is useful when you do multiple different tests. So excluding shoppers from previous polls will help you remove people who previously participated. So let's say I'm asking people a similar question on the same product for the third time. I can exclude previous participants while keeping the same demographic options so that new humans participate and new humans won't be biased to the previous things they've seen about my product or my brand, right? So that's the idea behind this part. But as I said, for this specific example, very generic product, multivitamin. So we're going to keep standard demographics only, United States, English-speaking people, all age groups, and 100 people. That's it, okay? So without my explanations, this would have taken you 10 seconds max, okay?
So
Now
right,
I'm
no,
going to
thanks
click
for going in
next.
depth. Yeah.
Absolutely. And this is just a review, just for you to kind of see the summary of the whole setup, just to make sure it all makes sense. Sometimes I catch that, oh, I should ask this better, or, oh, wait, I missed one image, or let me make sure the audience still makes sense, right? So this is just for you just to have the sanity check before you go live. So very simple 4 steps. Now we're ready. And I'm going to hit submit. Maybe we can see some progress as the recording goes on. But essentially, usually it just takes 20, 30 minutes for 100 people of generic demographic, and I'm going to have 100%. And actually, right before the call, Vova, I started another test. Let's see if it's completed. This one was, I think, a little earlier. Yeah, this one. Yeah, it is 100% now. Okay. So this was for dogs choose. And I just wanted to see if we'll get some interesting results. So this is what the results page is going to look like. Okay. So we have all the images, all 6 of them, ranked based on people's preferences. Interestingly enough, you also see how many people selected this to be the number 1 choice, right? So out of 100 people, 49 said this is the most important image. What's good, as far as I remember, I think I have this listing somewhere. Yeah, that's the one. They do use it as the very second image.
Nice.
So they either done some testing, oh, really good at this. Somehow they figured this makes sense. Let's see what else they have. They have this is number 3, this is number 4, this is number 5. Let's see what people said. I think they're matching up so far with 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. And then here is where the difference is, I think. So maybe I would just replace the last 2 and position them in different order. But probably doesn't matter as much because as we spoke, first 2, 3 images make the biggest difference. So as long as you address the most important concerns, answer the most important questions in your second, third image, you're generally good. And these guys are clearly doing well. I wouldn't really recommend them to change anything. But sometimes you see like complete opposite. And you're like, okay, now let's test it on Amazon, right? But yeah, these are the results. You see it like in this way. And you see every single response here. What's also interesting, you can leverage AI in a way of summarizing. I personally hate reading through all of them. Let's say it's 100 people. That's going to take me 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not a big reader. So all I'm going to do is just click analyze for me. Okay. And the AI system will work in the background. It's going to analyze it. So now we have the analysis done by AI. So now we have the reasoning behind every single option. Option A, why it was chosen, positive, negative, sentiment analysis. For every single one, you can have this as in the summary. And also, if you want to be very, very specific to, let's say, option A, you can just click on, you can just scroll down and read the responses and see why people position these images in this order. And remember in the beginning, we had this toggle that allowed you to have either one response per the selection or response per every image. So if you selected the response per every image, which would be 2 credits, you'd have very, very targeted responses. And that way you could even click on option A only and see why everybody selected option A. Read it one by one, right? So that's how narrow you can go. But yeah, I think the main thing is you're going to see if the order matches up. Another example I'll show you, something I've done for one of the clients recently, costumes. Okay. This one's very, very helpful because they're trying to develop a template where all of their costumes follow the same order for the ease of uploading. Because you can imagine how many costumes they have, different sizes, different colors. They just wanted a template that works. So we figured out by doing a few of these tests that people want to start with something very general, just like an index image, or people in North America will be able to relate. You go to Costco, Costco gives you 5 reasons to buy this TV at Costco. And you're like, oh, it's I don't know, 2-year warranty, or no questions asked, returns, whatever, right? And you have this list. Same idea here. Usually pictures that summarize your core reasoning in one image should be used as the very second one. If I go back to the dog choose one, that's pretty much the same idea here.
Yeah.
The one that's winning has a list of why you need to buy this, right? So let's go back to the costumes. Second one was about the size and fit. Okay. Quite important for anything you wear, right? Any clothing. You need to understand if the sizing fits you. So definitely goes at the top. Here's another one that kind of summarizes why trust this brand, what makes it so good, how quality is checked and stuff like that, right? So all of these definitely help you convert. And what I thought would actually get much more attention is this one, because I was surprised that, like, how do I breathe through this? So to me, that was an important one. But as you can see, I was wrong. People don't really care. They probably understand that obviously you have to breathe well through this. It's designed that way. This is the costume. So they position it at the very, very bottom. So I would even consider replacing it with something more important for based on people's considerations, right? So yeah, that's the use case. And what I would do next, don't upload it straight to Amazon. Upload it to manage your experiments, do an A/B test, and confirm it with actual revenue. And instead of doing this right away and skipping ProductPinion, the reason we do this in ProductPinion first is we want to minimize the risk of guessing wrong. And for a month or 2 months, 50% of the time you show something that doesn't convert as well, and it impacts your keyword ranking, impacts your PPC performance and the whole business, right? This way you minimize the risk, you upload the order that you already checked with your target audience, makes sense, and I'd say from my experience so far, 9 out of 10 times when you do this preliminary step, you also win on Amazon as well.
Nice, man. I'll mention to our audience also that you mentioned manage your experiments, like this ability to test on Amazon. So we have a video with Matt, your co-founder, Matt Coston, that it's like a 30-minute video where we show how all this works and how ProductPinion comes into play there. So it's a link in the description. And of course, there's this free trial plus double the credits to try out and test this option or other options of ProductPinion. Again, we have the bigger tutorial that houses other options of ProductPinion. So we also have another poll running, right? The one that we started. What do you think? Shall we showcase it now?
Happening.
All right.
Okay,
so we have
we're at
some...
11%. It's
and
progressing.
I see there's some winners, right? We have already, and losers, kind of thing from now.
Well, too soon to tell. I think we only had about 11 people.
Yeah, 11 people, yeah. Agree.
But you can see how it progresses, right? You can see how people respond in real time. All the details about every single person responding, their age bracket, their gender, income range. Yeah, I think this is very, very insightful. And again, it doesn't have to be an existing product even before you launch. So think of pre-launch stage.
Yes.
You don't really know what matters the most, but you kind of look at your competitors, see what they talk about, you develop it your way on brand for your product. Then you can do it here and see what order people prefer. And that way you increase your chances of converting well right from the get. So yeah, use this pre-launch as well. Very useful. But yeah, something I was promising to show you is how you can use your own audience, right? So when we set it up, there was a toggle on step number 3 where the audiences are to use ProductPinion audience. But you don't have to. The good thing is if you have your own audience already, you built up an email list, or maybe you have some other online community, a Facebook group, and it's engaged, you can also ask your own people to provide that feedback on any of the ProductPinion tests, not only this one. So all you have to do is just toggle here, enable having your own audience for the test. And again, whether you use ProductPinion audience or no, this is going to work. You can launch it with 0 people on ProductPinion and just do the same steps here. Now, I don't have to ask for demographics, but I can. So if I ask them for demographics, they'll answer basic things. Hey, this is my age, this is my income. Usually I just remove it just because I don't want to create any friction. I already know usually what my audience is like. Thank you message is something you can also leverage. So if I put something like, as a thank you for your opinion, here's a 10% off coupon. So what it allows us to do is we can even make money by testing, right? So they will use this coupon. Let's say they go to my listing. Let's say this is my listing. And just copy the link, go back here. This is the link. And I'm gonna say claim your 10% off. I'm copying public test URL, okay? And this is the link I sent in my social media, in my email flow to them. And people click on this link, this is what they see. What will you be doing? Choose an option. Next. Now they have to rank the options. So they have to move them around as 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That's how they fill this out. So let's say people look at this, they're like, okay, this matters the most to me. This is probably the second most important move. Yeah, that's how they fill this out. Now you can see what the other side of ProductPinion looks like. So now we have the order, and they have to explain themselves, just like you've seen in the explanations. I just gonna say, I picked this because I was under heavy influence of Vova on the call, and he likes it this way. Submit. Boom. And this is the thank you page. So you're done. Your response has been recorded. Thank you. One more thing. As a thank you for your opinion, here's a 10% off coupon, Vova Test 10. Claim your 10% off. They go to the listing. Can go anywhere. Can go to your Shopify site, anywhere, right? And hopefully they copy that coupon. And when they process the order, they can just paste it. So that's kind of the logic. Because we're brand builders ourselves, me and Matt were sellers for the last, like for me, 8 years. So definitely kind of understand how you build a brand, and it's part of it.